Hey everyone, welcome back to A Positive Conversation with David and Donna. This is David.
And Donna?
I love saying that. It just rolls off the tongue so nicely.
Yes, it does.
This is Positive Conversations. We do a weekly podcast, which, we kind of lost that during the whole quarantine. It was a mess, but we're back on track. We're making content, trying to get it out there, and we have just a positive conversation about whatever. There's a lot of negative in the world. Let's be positive and let's just talk about what's going on. So hello, Donna.
Hello, David. And we have made a change. We were uploading the positives. Was it on Mondays?
Saturdays.
Okay, so we've changed our upload schedule. So now we're doing the positives on which day?
I believe Tuesday.
Tuesdays, okay.
And creative on Wednesday.
All right, so...
Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know.
Well, it's not on the weekend anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a new change.
Tuesday or Wednesday, right in the middle of the week. It is a new change, and our schedule's going to be kind of off. I just started work again, which we were about to talk about. Mm-hmm. We finally went back up. I work at a coffee shop / yogurt shop, which is a weird combination. But, to me, that's always made sense. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But then everyone else is like, that's so weird. But I work at a coffee shop and yogurt shop, and we've been closed the entire time, quarantine and all that stuff like that. Like, since the very beginning. Before quarantine was even officially in effect, I think we closed down. And we just opened back up last Friday. That is Monday, and we opened up on Friday. But, of course, I spent Wednesday and Thursday last week getting ready for it. And so I'm back to work, which is a big change, again, for me, because I spent the last many months not working, trying to find another job, but just it not working out.
Right.
And lots of complicated things with that we don't got to get into that you know about. But I'm back working. That's how I feel.
Well, let's find the positive. So let's go back
to find the positive.
Wednesday and Thursday. My goodness, we started this and I can't talk anymore. So Wednesday and Thursday, you had to go and kind of reopen, re-clean, restock.
Yeah.
Tell us what that was all like.
Yeah. So I just completely, re-cleaned everything, and I cleaned it all after we closed. But this time I was going back, and I was like, all right, I know that I cleaned it, but it's all been sitting here, so let's scrub-a-dub-dub all these yogurt machines again, which I did not miss at all. I have some weird skills. I've talked about this before with people who also work at yogurt shops, that we have these weird skills that are never going to come in handy anywhere else in life.
Such as?
Being able to take apart and put back together a yogurt machine. Where is that? I mean, I guess if I get one in my house or something, I don't know. Maybe when we're rich,
or something
we'll have one
similar.
In the office.
I'm sure the machine works similar to other machines.
It does. It's fun. When I went to Southeastern, they had a yogurt machine in the cafeteria, and it was the exact same one that we have, and it was always broken, and it always infuriated me because I knew how to fix it. And one time it was beeping and going crazy, and the lunch ladies or whatever, they're just hitting it, they don't know what they're doing. And I go up to them and I'm like, oh, well, if you just press this button, they're like, get away from here, student, you're dumb. And I'm like, fine. You don't get to know my knowledge though, but I knew exactly how to fix it. I knew it was just beater overload. Boom, fixed. But
and they wouldn't listen to you.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they were like, no, you don't touch the machine. And I was just trying to help them. Because I know it's the exact same machine. So I was just trying to help. So I guess that's the one time my expertise could have come in handy, and they turned me down. But maybe one day again, I'll be walking around and someone will have some yogurt problems, and I'll be able to fix it. I'll be a hero.
The yogurt hero.
The yogurt man. The yogurt hero. I know how to make coffee also. That's kind of a cool skill. That's actually cool.
It is.
Because during quarantine, my sister would make me make her coffees all the time. Which I'm like, here, you could just do it yourself. And she's like, no, make me a frappe. And I'm like, well, you just take the coffee and no, make me a frappe. So, but I don't mind because I like cooking for people. And that's sort of close, right? I guess. Sort of. I like making things for people.
Good.
But anyway, yeah.
Okay, so Wednesday and Thursday, it was cleaning.
Yeah,
and
lots of cleaning.
Restocking,
having to do inventory. Had to walk around with my little laptop and just do the Excel spreadsheet. I never should have told my boss that I knew how to do Excel. I remember he was like, hey, do you know how to do Excel? And I was like, yeah, I do Excel. And he goes okay, cool. So here you have to do inventory. I'm going to send you the Excel spreadsheet. Giant document. I also, he knows that I do videos. So, of course, he's like, hey, so I got this video about the store. Because, we have a menu, a little thing that goes on the TV screen that's just, advertisements or whatever that plays on the screen. And he was like, I need you to edit the videos. So you do this, this, and this. You have your laptop here? Okay, cool. Thanks, bye. And I'm like, oh my, okay. So I guess I'm editing videos for Bitter and Sweet now. Never should have told him I knew how to do any of these things. Well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind if I got a raise. Hint, hint, if you're listening. I know you're not, but in case.
So you didn't go back demanding the raise then?
I did get one, but not that I probably deserved. But that's just how it goes. That's how everybody feels about their raise. I feel like everybody gets a raise, and they're like, it's not what I deserve. So I'm not. Also, like, you know, they've been closed for 3 months, so I'm not gonna go back being like, hey, give me a bunch of money, because they haven't been working. So we'll see how it goes. But that's besides the point. So yeah, going back to work, and you know, I actually have been kind of excited about it because one, I get to like do something. I have like a thing that I'm doing that makes money as a structure,
yes.
And I have like a steady like money coming in. That's going to be really, really comforting, you know.
Yeah.
Hard work and just working and grinding out, and just like it's almost a satisfying feeling that I get from working, and just doing anything, and just like getting in this state of mind, like a grind state of mind, and just going numb and just grinding out the work, and then it's done, and then there's money in your pocket, and you've done it, and you get to go home and take a bath. You know what I mean?
I do, but I'm trying to find the positive in that, David.
What's it? Oh, you don't find that? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was self-explanatory. That's a positive for me. I like that feeling.
What
so
I mean
like,
is, you don't enjoy your work enough to enjoy it while you're there. It's just like, let me put it on numb.
I sometimes enjoy it. I have a very positive story to tell, actually. But no, like numb's not a good word. More like this intense focus.
Autopilot.
It's like exercising. It's like, that's a positive. Like, you just get on the autopilot, you get the muscle memory, you just have this intense focus, and it's hard, and it's rough, and it hurts, but you just are grinding it out until, oh, it's been an hour? Okay, I'm done? Okay, cool, I can take a shower. That felt really nice and almost rejuvenating.
Gotcha.
But there are some positives to the work, you know.
Let's hear that.
I do enjoy making coffee. Okay, so like Friday we opened up for the first time, and it was actually a pretty rough day because there was just a metric ton of work to do to get everything back. Even though I've been working Wednesday and Thursday, just there's so much stuff. I had a pile of dishes like I've never seen before. Just so much stuff to do. And about an hour before the shift closes. By the way, also, because we have like weirder hours now, and also we only have 2 employees right now. We hired some more people, but already, thankfully. But technically we have 2 employees, and I'm one of them. And so I have to work every other day, and I open and close. We're open for less amount of hours. We used to be open for 12 hours a day. Now we're open for like 8 hours, and I work all 8 hours. Opening and closing. And it was about an hour before closing. It's been a really horrible day, you know, lots of work. And this family comes in, and they're just the nicest people that I've like talked to in a long time. They're just so nice. They were just being super nice. They gave me a tip. They were laughing. They were joking. One of them spilled yogurt on their shirt, and it was like laughing, and I was laughing, and I started crying. I started crying like tears of joy. Not in front of them. I went to the back, and I was crying because they just were so nice. And I texted my friends, and I'm like, some people were just so nice that I started crying. And they're like, yeah, that's how it be. And apparently that happened to a lot of people during the quarantine. Apparently that's a thing for like food workers or, you know, stuff like that. But that's what happened, and that was a really nice feeling, and those people are the best. So if you're listening out there, thank you. That was nice.
So are there like any regulars, like people you haven't seen in a long time that are coming back?
Yeah, lots of regulars coming back that I haven't seen in a long time. Just, you know, some friendly faces. I mean, I don't really need, you know, I never talk to them. It's not like a sitcom where you're at like Cheers or whatever, you know.
I was about to say.
Yeah, it's not like but still, I do know all their names though, and sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and right. So that's the Cheers song.
I know.
Okay, making sure you know. And I do know their names, and it's kind of a nice feeling to be like oh, I have a reward program. I'm like, oh, I got you, Mr. John, you know, and I already have it pulled up because I remember their name. So that's cool, and it is nice to just get back into that routine. And to be making steady money. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Money. I like money. It's just a nice, you know, it's nice to be making that again. And to have that steady comfort of, you know, in a couple weeks I'll have a paycheck. which I know not everybody gets.
That's right.
So I do appreciate it. I don't like to take things for granted. And even though my job is crappy and I work in food service and I work there by myself and I do a lot of work, I mean, I've told you before, I pretty much run that store. No offense to my bosses, I pretty much run that store. My boss is in the military, and so there have been many times where he's deployed, and then there's still his wife, my other boss, is still there, but, you know, having one less boss there, you know, a lot of more responsibility gets put on me. I'm doing things like inventory now, things that he would always do, and cleaning. You know, I take apart yogurt machines and put them back together, and I train the new people, and et cetera, et cetera. I've been there for like 4 years now. It's been 4 years and a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I had a question. Now that you're getting a steady paycheck again, what are the goals? What is the money going to?
A loot.
You're going to buy a loot?
I want to buy a loot. Yeah.
Why?
Because I want to... Probably not going to buy a loot. But I really...
Okay.
I'm laughing. Okay. So there's this Netflix show called The Witcher.
You've talked about it.
I've talked about it. I love The Witcher. And then there's this I sung it on the way over here. There's this song called Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. And it's played by a guy with a lute. And I really want to learn to play it. And I want to learn to play the lute and sing that song.
Well, I mean, if you want a lute and you have the money for it, how much does a lute cost?
An average one, probably like $100. I think.
Not exorbitant.
No, it's not. You know, I can one paycheck and I can have that, and I'm not going to spend my first paycheck on that. But you know, my birthday is coming up. Hey, Mom,
right.
Can you give me a lute? I should probably just ask them to pay off my debt for me, huh?
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'm joking, but I want a lute and some Nerf guns.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, you stocked up on Nerf guns pretty good in the past.
I have. As you know, Nerf guns and airsoft guns. Mm-hmm. I have stocked up. A lot of them broke, or I lost them, or I gave them away. I'm pretty sure your daughter's boyfriend has some of them. Mm-hmm. Probably. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. What else? Let's see. I should probably fix my car.
Yeah, that would be a nice thing.
Yeah.
However, if other plans occur and you won't be having the car much longer. There's news?
No, I just had a dream about that last night.
Oh.
So the joke there, what's going on there is that my parents might get a new car. They might just give me their old truck. It's not old, but it's their old one,
right.
You know?
Old to them, new to you.
Old to them, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I actually literally had a dream last night that they finally got a new truck and I got to have the truck and I was so excited.
And did you wake up and say, hey, Mom, when are you going to get that new truck?
No, she wasn't home, but I should text her.
You should.
I should text her like, hey.
I mean, it's a sign, right?
I want that freaking truck. But my car honks. My car just doesn't stop honking. And I'm serious. That is what it sounds like. My car will just be going down the street and it honks. It's not a fuse problem because in the Dodge Avenger, there is not a fuse for the horn. It is on a completely separate system, which is why it's a common problem amongst Dodge vehicles, apparently. The horn is also almost impossible to find there to just unplug it. I can't unplug it. I need to get an inspection sticker. And so I can't just unplug the horn because I need to be able to honk for the inspection sticker. Mm-hmm. But it just starts honking, you know. Me going down the street, nice old lady on the sidewalk, just going crazy at her. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And it's not just like a honk. It's like a honk, 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 honk. Or it'd be like, honk, honk, honk. Or sometimes it'll just be like, for literally 2 minutes straight, and I can't do. What I can do is I can get out and go punch the fuse box, and I mean that literally. Like I pop my hood and I go over to the fuse box and I hit it, and it'll stop. But if I'm like on the interstate, you know, I mean, I guess I could pull over, but I just kind of keep going. But yeah, that's what my car does. There's some other problems too, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So. That's what my car does. I have no idea what the issue is. I'd have to bring it to a mechanic and be like, figure it out. And that would cost a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So...
You're just riding it out.
Hoping I get that truck. And then I can bring the car to the dealership and not mention to them that there's a honking problem.
You could do that.
I'm not going to do that. My parents would be like, yeah, just don't mention it. But I would mention it because I'm too... I'm too nice.
I understand.
Yeah, I have that problem. Well, some would argue it's a problem to be too nice. Would you agree?
I think that it could get you in situations that, like, if you're afraid to say no, like if you're too nice that way, you know what I mean? It depends on how you're too nice. But I think being kind to other people is always okay. Yeah. So if you're being nice in that way, just always being kind, you know.
But that's a good point. I think I agree with you. I have been told before that I'm too nice or I'm too trusting or forgiving. Well, not really forgiving, but too just, you know, too nice. I'm just too nice to people. I do things like give them a heads up. You know, like for example, when I was looking for another job, I gave my bosses a heads up, and they're like, most people I've come to find would be like, don't do that.
Right.
But like to me, it's just like a nice thing to do, and so it's like and it is like a back and forth argument I do have with people pretty often about things like that, where it's like people are like, why'd you even go back? And I'm like, well, because they only have me to do things, and if I didn't go back, then no one could do the things. And like, well, just don't. But like, I'm just so nice, I guess, that I'm like, I gotta go back.
But if you had found another job, then you just didn't find another job.
Right, I didn't find it, but I even told you, even if I had planned to, I'd always planned to come back and help them get on their feet again. At least, like, you know, training new people to come in. Like, that was always the plan. That was always my thought, was I'm gonna, like, train more people. And so it's like, you know, actually, I have been too nice before whenever I would chauffeur my crazy ex-girlfriend around, and you told me not to do that anymore. That was too nice. That was too nice.
That was the not being able to say no part.
You're right. That was the not being able to say no part. Yeah. Interesting. I think that's an interesting topic. That's so crazy off going back to work. But this is where my mind led me.
Oh, that's what we do here.
That is what we do. We just talk. Yeah.
Well, I have a few things.
Please.
This week is a week where I have a dentist appointment today. Tomorrow I have a meeting at school for 3 hours. And Wednesday I have a doctor appointment. So I actually have something to do for 3 days out of this week. It's like, wow! And it's just so interesting perspective for me, because I always have summers off. I mean, as a teacher, you can work during the summer, but I never have. So I've always had this nice long break. But because there was as much summer as I have summer off before I got my summer off, I've had a really long time to just kind of sit around the house thinking, what am I going to do today? Well, maybe I'll work on the computer for 30 minutes, and then I'll go watch a TV show for 30 minutes, and then I'll think about washing some clothes. I mean, it wouldn't matter one way or the other if I did it or didn't do it. But I have some actual structure, so that's feeling kind of cool.
That is very cool. I'm enjoying my structure as well and doing stuff. You mentioned dentist appointment, and that brought up something also off topic, but I've told you before that I have horrifying, nightmarish dreams about teeth. Often.
You have told me that, yes.
And I know I've told you. I don't remember if we ever talked about it on the podcast, though.
I don't know if we have either.
And I told you that my friend Andre, who is from the Philippines, tells me that in his culture, at least wherever specifically he's from, that he's always been told that when you have a dream about teeth, it means an evil monster is coming to get you. And that you have anxiety. Which is true. And I have these terrible teeth anxiety because this is just fun stories. As you know, I've had some trouble with my teeth my entire life, breaking them, having fake teeth. And the other night I had a terrifying dream where I just start growing so many teeth that my mouth is like full of them and I can't move my mouth, and it just, the solid pressure. And my whole face just becomes teeth. And I recently saw that there's apparently like an actual real life disease where like people just start growing teeth out of random places.
I've never heard of that. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's the most terrifying thing. That teeth are so... I hate the dentist with a passion. Hate it. I finally had a dentist I like, and he moved.
Oh.
It's so heartbreaking. A nice guy. His name was Dr. Ho, which is a fun name. And I love being like, oh, I'm here to see Dr. Ho. And I like giggle to myself. Yeah. Oh, what a cool dude. But I'm terrified of teeth. So,
I'm so sorry.
Just so you know, never smile at me ever again.
All right.
Oh, you did it!
I did.
That's just so random. I just had that thought. I've been having the most crazy, vivid, terrifying dreams about stuff like teeth. Like, always about teeth. But then also just stuff where, like, I was at a house and, like, our house is flooded. You know, which, of course, resonates with people here. There's a hurricane coming up. And, of course, every time there's a hurricane now, people are like, are we going to flood? Mm-hmm. And that's actually scary only because, if you remember last time we had a hurricane coming, it was a big letdown. You know, like, it was... By that, I mean, it was, like, hyped to the extreme.
They hyped it that it was going to be another flood, and people were so paranoid.
And there was just
it was like this one, like just a little bit of rain.
Just some light rain, yeah. And I was like, God dang, okay, yeah. But if you remember, whenever the flood happened, nobody even thought... People thought it was light rain. Mm-hmm. So it's completely unpredictable.
It is.
So you got to stay, like, alert. Speaking of staying alert, the other night on my street, there was a manhunt for, like, a guy shot 2 people down the street from where I live. And I live, like, in a nice place. It's not, like, you know, dangerous usually. And, like, we heard the gunshots, and I'm like, what was that? And then there was, like, a news report that there's a manhunt for, like, a guy on Kane Market, and that's where I live. So I was like, ah! So that was spooky. I slept with my sword right next to me.
Good.
Ready to go.
Now that you have it back.
Now that I have my sword back. Yeah.
Nice.
A katana. An actual katana. I keep it sharp and ready. And I was like, come at me, bro. I got a sword. It's a joke. I'm telling the truth. There have been times where I've thought like someone's like, you know, like I'll hear something. First thing I do is I grab my sword and I'm like, let's go. Mess with me. And I would probably, you know, get my butt kicked, but I'd look pretty cool doing it.
Yeah.
What a cool news report that would be! Like someone broke in and I stabbed someone in the foot to stop them from, I don't know, killing me. My mind's all over the place today.
It is, and I'm looking at our time.
Yeah,
it's already 21 minutes, almost 22. So I guess that's probably enough positive talk.
It was an interesting, positive conversation, wasn't it?
It was, absolutely.
And I think some people are like, this is not very positive. This is positive. These are all positives to me. I think that they're positive, and I'm happy that we have some routine going back to things. Things all seem to be coming back to normal. I mean, things are different at work. We have topping bars, so like all the toppings are in individual little cases now, so I have to do that. And it's still self-serve, but we have the machines spread out super wide, and then I have to clean the handles after every single time they're used. Some other yoga places are making their people wear gloves, like the customers wear gloves to touch the handles. We just spray them off after. Just keeping things extra clean. We only have 2 tables in the place right now. Oh, but we have tables outside, right? But then there's Subway next door. So people from Subway come over and sit at our tables and make a huge mess. And if you're one of those people, I hate you. I mean it.
You have to clean it up.
And I even put a sign. I was like, I even put a sign that was like, for bitter and sweet customers only, please. Because, you know, I don't care if they sit there. But I care when you're eating Subway, which is a lot messier than what we serve. And then you make this huge food mess all over our tables that I have to go clean up. So I put, for bittersweet customers only, please. People just sat there anyway. They just don't care. People just don't care.
You're very right.
Like, what's the deal with that? I was just sitting there, like, and big windows. I just stare at them, like.
It probably didn't even occur to them.
And there's a sign. I put the sign on the table.
No, I know, David, but people don't think about that if they don't want to.
And they just sit down, and then they get up and leave their wrappers there. And I'm like, and it's clearly not Subway chairs. It is clearly on bitter and sweet. Like, it is like, they have to walk over to the chairs.
Yeah.
It is clearly bitter and sweet, but they just do not care at all.
That's just life, honey.
And I don't like confrontation, so I don't say anything. But I want to. But what am I going to say?
Well, I mean, you have said it. They just didn't hear it, or they didn't see it.
Right. Well, if I were to walk out there, what would I say? Like, for bitter and sweet customers only, please?
Yes.
And they probably would look at me and be like,
what you
and
gonna
then
do?
Just go back to it. Yeah.
I mean, that's like, in general, like as a teacher, you can tell students constantly, do this, don't do this, and they do whatever they want.
That's a good point.
And you just have to realize that's just how things are.
And that's strange. And that's funny how people are like that when I've always tried to be the opposite. Like, I really have, like, I have a lot of anxiety, but a lot of that anxiety is actually just me trying really hard not to be that person. Mm-hmm. Like, I get anxiety by, like, oh, can we sit here? And people are like, you're crazy. Like, just calm down. Yes, but I have that anxiety for those reasons. I've told you before, like, I don't like playing my music too loud in the car when I'm at a red light because nothing's more annoying to me when I'm sitting at a red light and next door I hear people's entire, like, I hear the entire song.
Yeah.
So I try not to do that. And people were like, and we'll go up to a red light, or we'll go through a drive-through, and people are like blasting their freaking music super loud. Like, and people that are driving, I'm like, hey, turn the music down. Like, I was in the car with Victoria, and I was like, turn the music down. And she was like, why? And she's like, why do you have so much anxiety about it? I'm like, that's why. That's why. Because if you were the other person, you would hate yourself. You would hate you. Mm-hmm. So I try not to be that, but a lot of people just don't think that way.
No.
They just don't.
They do not.
Maybe I'm just too nice.
See? There we go. Bring it full circle. Uh-huh. So are you too nice? I think consideration is not too nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I do believe that we need to wrap it up.
I think you should wrap us up, yeah.
So I will say thank you for joining us today on Positive Conversations. This has been Donna.
And David.
Stay positive.